Hello, my name is Jacob Nolly and I'm the CEO here at the Graphite Lab, and in today's video I'm going to be showing off one of our many tools in our toolbox, ID mapping. If you have ever dabbled in automation, one of the things that you've probably attempted to do is create some kind of a workflow where when something happens in one app, let's say a creation or an update event, you want that to show up in another application. And so one of the most common ones that our customers leverage is an event is created inside of their CRM and they want that added to Google Calendar. Now the addition of that is super easy. You just create the event and then there it is. But the thing with appointments is that they often change. And so the time might change, the attendees might change. There might be a lot of different moving pieces. And so one of the major issues with automation is the original software program has no idea what the ID value of the entity it created in the other tool. So for instance, if we created an appointment in ServiceTitan and then we added that over into Google Calendar, ServiceTitan's appointment ID might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Google Calendar event ID might be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And so when the update event in ServiceTitan happens, we have no idea what event in Google to get and update. And so that is often a big dilemma and problem when building out any kind of an automation workflows. How do we handle these update events? And so that is why we rolled out a program called ID mapping. And basically what our ID mapping tool does is two things. One, it lets you select from all of your different softwares that you leverage. It lets you select from them and see what different data types that software has. Then it allows you to add all of the IDs from your software to this tool. So for instance, if you have ServiceTitan appointments, you can add in every single appointment from your tool in an automation workflow and save it as an ID in our ID mapping software. Then what it allows you to do is create relationships between different entities in the tool. So let's say we have this workflow where basically I'll kind of go ahead and show an example of this. So like, let's say in ServiceTitan, an appointment is created or rescheduled. Basically from there, what we'll do is we'll create, or our create functionality allows you to create or look for an ID value in another tool. Basically, it'll look for that ID value right here. You'll select like which software you want and what data type we're looking against. And what is the ID value, the identifier in the tool that we're leveraging. So here I have the ID value stored as the appointment ID, I have the identifier type as appointment, and I have the software as ServiceTitan. And then you can create some kind of a label so you can visually know what that appointment is. Then if we click continue, you can actually see that for this appointment ID right here, we actually have a Google Calendar appointment associated with it. And so that allows us in our Zapier app to basically create two paths. Path one is the item does not exist. So right here, you can see the Google Calendar appointment identifier does not exist. Or over here, it does exist. So basically, if there is no ID value associated with that appointment in Google, we're going to go ahead and create a detailed calendar event, and then we're going to create that Google identifier and then update the mapping so that moving forward, this appointment ID is always associated with this Google Calendar event ID. Now, let's say it did exist. So this appointment gets rescheduled and we check, and in fact, there is a Google Calendar event associated with that appointment. We can actually run a separate path where all we do is just update that event directly. We just use that event ID right here to just update that directly. So that is a really good and quick way to be able to build super efficient automations that know what an entity is in another software. So this is our ID mapping tool, and if you guys are interested in leveraging it or any of the other tools in our toolbox, don't hesitate to reach out to us via our contact form on our website.